What is up, guys? It is your boy NCSO7 here. Welcome to another collections update video. So today we're actually got 3 Nintendo handhelds that we're going to be going through. So, and there's not too much with it. That's why I decided to group them together. So we're going to start off with the Virtual Boy, actually. So I've got 4 games total. We'll start with the loose ones. The first one I got is the original Virtual Boy Wario Land. This is probably what most people would regard as the best Virtual Boy game. I do want to beat this game someday. I've played some of it and it is pretty good. Hopefully we get a remake of it someday, because that'd be really cool. Then we've got Mario Clash, which is probably the Virtual Boy game I've played the most of. I actually kind of like it. It's basically just Mario Brothers, but you got like 2 sides and whatnot, and you can like throw shells across. It's actually kind of a fun game. The only issue though is that it's more of a tech demo than anything else, but I still think it's pretty good. At least better than what most people will think. And then I've also got Roboxer, which is basically like a Punch-Out kind of game where you use like robots and stuff like that, which I only played one side and I sucked really badly at it, but I would assume that it's pretty decent, so yeah. And then for the actual only boxed Virtual Boy game is the Japanese version of Jack Bros. Yes, I do have the Japanese version. What you may not know, Virtual Boy is a region-free console, so instead of paying like $1,000 for the US version, I was like, I'll just buy this version. It has better box art anyways. And I played a little bit of Jack Bros and it's alright. I think it's okay, but it's definitely not the easiest game out there, but it is a unique Virtual Boy game and a unique game in the SMT series anyways, so yeah, there's that, but pretty decent though. And that's all my Virtual Boy stuff. So now let's move on to the Game Boy Color, and there's only 4 here for the same thing. So the first one I have is, and these are in no alphabetical order, so I do apologize on that, but we got Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, which is basically like a souped up version of the original Super Mario Brothers. This one has like, it has the Lost Levels mode. It also has like, I think a couple mini games and stuff like that, and just a lot of cool enhancements. Although there is a lot of screen crunch, it is a decent version of the game, especially with the amount of content it has. It even has a calendar in there. Like, okay, but I'd say overall it's pretty decent, I'd say. And then I've got Blue's Clues, Blue's Alphabet Book. The only reason I bought this is because years ago I saw a Lonely Goomba video on it, so I bought it for that reason. It's not good, I'll tell you that. It's the only EC game I have in my collection, so there is that. Now back to actual games. We've got the Game Boy Color version of Donkey Kong Country, which I've played a bit of this. It's not too bad on there. I mean, obviously the Super Nintendo version is where it reigns supreme, but this version isn't too bad in my opinion, so there is that. And then for the final Game Boy Color game I have, and probably the one that that's the most interesting to me, is Kirby Tilt and Tumble. Funny story, I bought this for $30 in 2016, and now the game is like $90 for just the cartridge, so that's real funny. But this is actually like a pretty interesting Kirby game because it has an accelerometer built into the cartridge, so that's pretty cool. Honestly, like, and I mean, and Kirby Tilt and Tumble is like not one of the most like easy to play Kirby games because you need like certain stuff, but you can play it on Switch Online now, thankfully. But I'm just glad to have this cartridge because that cartridge is worth something. And yeah, that is all the Game Boy Color stuff. So now it's time for the real meat of the video, the Game Boy Advance stuff. And there is a decent amount of this stuff, so let's start. And let's just start with the Super Mario Advance quadrilogy. So we got the first one. The first one was based on Super Mario Brothers 2. I quite liked this one. I've beaten this one. I like it. I like Mario 2. I actually think it's pretty good. I think it's the best of the NES Mario games. Yes, I said that. It's not Mario 3. Mario 3 is overrated as hell. But I like this one. Then we have Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2. It's basically just a downgraded version of Super Mario World, but it's still not too bad. I've also beaten this one. And then we have Yoshi's Island Super Mario Advance 3. I've also beaten this one. I've never beaten the original Super Nintendo version. Yes, I'm sorry. I know people aren't the biggest on this version, but you know what? I played it, and it's actually not too bad on there. And then we finally got Super Mario Advance 4 Super Mario Bros. 3, which this one I have not beaten because Super Mario Bros. 3 is hard as all hell. I have gotten to World 7, but that's it. And one thing that all of these Mario Advance games have is the Mario Brothers arcade like game mode in them, and it's such a good version of Mario Brothers. Like honestly, I'd only buy these games just to play the Mario Brothers thing. They even have it in Mario Luigi Superstar Saga, which is cool. Which I don't have that one. I mean, I have that on the Wii U Virtual Console, but I'm not counting Virtual Console for this video. Now, moving away from the Mario Advance stuff, but still some Mario stuff, we've got Mario Kart Super Circuit, which is a pretty decent Mario Kart game in my opinion for the system. I know it's like I know unlocking everything is a real pain in the ass, but I quite like it. I think it controls decently, even if, although it's a little bit too hard for my liking, but I think it's fine. Then we've got Mario Party Advance, which this game I've never played before, but I've heard it's not that good. I'm sure it's not the worst. I don't know how bad it is compared to like Mario Party 9 and 10, but who knows? Or some of the 3DS games, I'm not sure. Oopsie daisy, I got like a few stacks of these. Then we got, you're not going to be able to read it, but this is Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. As you can tell, the label on the cartridge is really beaten up and basically almost non-existent, but Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland is actually a really good version of Kirby's Adventure. I liked Kirby's Adventure on the NES, but I think that the game has some frame rate issues and it doesn't control the best. This version controls really well, and it also looks really good too. So I would definitely recommend playing this version of the game. And we've got the original WarioWare, and actually, okay, I was just looking at the cartridge because there's like the black cross out thing there. It might be not for resale, so this could be a not for resale cartridge, which I didn't even know was a thing. But WarioWare is amazing. This is the first one. I think it's pretty good. I really not much to say about it though, honestly. Everybody knows how good it is. I don't have Twisted, unfortunately. That one's more expensive though. And then I've got Wario Land 4. I haven't played this much at all. I played it once and that was it. And now my cat's starting to look around in my collection. Alright, I got one more stack left. So we got the Pac-Man collection, which was actually the first GBA game I ever got. This has like a collection of like the original Pac-Man, Pac-Mania, Pac-Attack, and Pac-Man arrangement game. It's actually not a bad compilation of games, honestly, for just being a GBA cart. And then we've got basically like the successor, like the other game it stood next to, Namco Museum, which this one had, I believe, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Dig Dug, and Pole Position. This is also pretty decent. You get more variety in the game, so I guess there's that, but I don't know. I played Pac-Man Collection more. And I've got Super Monkey Ball Jr., which this is kind of like I guess, almost like a port of the GameCube game to the Game Boy Advance, but they did change like the level design and stuff like that. And it's actually a pretty interesting version of the game. It's not perfect by any means, but you know, for being the first handheld Monkey Ball game, it's pretty decent. And the game looks really good for the GBA too. And then we got the last two games, and these are a bit special. So the first I've got is Mother 1+2. However, this is actually the fan translation version of it, but it's not the complete one because I bought this in like 2015. So all of Mother 1 is translated, but Earthbound is not translated. Or it's like really, really weird stuff. But I actually played through a good amount of Mother 1 on here. I actually got, I think, like halfway through the game, I suppose. I think I got half of the 8 melodies. And this is like not too bad of a version of the game for being on the handheld. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. And then for the final game, I have the Mother 3 fan translation on here. I haven't played much Mother 3. I know a lot of people love that game and would say it's their favorite Mother game. I have not played enough of it myself. I maybe someday I'll play it, but honestly, if I'm gonna play it, I'm not gonna be playing it on this. I'll probably just be playing it on an emulator, more than likely. Or if Nintendo wants to be kind and release it in the US, but they'll never do that. But that is everything for my Virtual Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance systems. I know it was like a bit all over the place, but I wanted to kind of combine a bunch of systems into one video since there's not really too much for them. So let me know what you guys think of what I have. Let me know if there's any games I should check out for any of these systems that aren't too expensive. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace out and take care.